stream us, listen to us on the AM dial. However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Carey. Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:01. Good morning. Thank you for tuning into Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and Mackenzie the intern with you here in the Sports 1440 studios. Fantasy Frenzy brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Check them out online at willhawkbeefjerky.com or in person out in Leduc. I'd say talk to Trent, but I saw on social media it looks like he's going on a little bit of a trip today, getting out of the cold into the nice weather. So obviously operations will run smoothly, but go say hello and I don't know, tell them to say hi to Trent when he returns from his little
Trent
getaway.
Celebrating George Pickens officially getting the franchise tag.
Did he officially get the tag?
I think so.
You think so?
As official can get to without being official, maybe?
He probably, I mean, it's been placed on him. He signs it or whatever, and then it's like, but let's hammer out a deal.
That's the idea, I believe.
Let's not waste any more time.
Report, Cowboys to place franchise tag on Pickens. I feel like we already had that report.
That report's been out there for, well, months. We knew this would happen if it got down to that point. But, hey, this is what they have to do. Got to keep him there. It worked out so good. Lots to get to here on the show. Of course, you can always reach us via the text line, 1-833-401-1440, or email us, Connor at sports1440.ca, Brandon at sports1440.ca. Not too many people do email us, but just like to let you know that it is an option if you want to get in that route. Of course, we can talk some Oilers. 8-1 win last night over the LA Kings. I do want to get to the NFLPA 2026 report cards later on. Did you guys talk about that at all with Carries?
No, they didn't come up this morning.
We'll do a little rundown on that because some of them are, I mean, it's letter grade, so you take what you want from it, but some are kind of interesting there. We can talk some Blue Jays as well. Whatever you want. How about a quick shout out to the Golden Bears and Pandas volleyball teams taking care of business last night?
Big Dubs, chance to advance now tonight down at Savills.
Yeah, best of 3, up 1-0, both of them over Manitoba. So shout out to Bears
Westman
and Pandas. Yeah,
what is a Westman?
Like a Boilermaker. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Let's go to the Oilers, though, Duke, last night. And coming off the way they played against the Anaheim Ducks in that fashion, up twice or by 2 goals twice and then giving it away. A few encouraging signs for the Oilers, and I'd say both are very basic. Like, well, one, they got the lead early, and they never looked back. Great to see them just keep on scoring goals. Putting up 8, Leon Draisaitl 4 points, gets to 30 on the year. When it comes to goals, Connor McDavid wins the race to 100 points with a 2-point night. Trent Frederick, I thought, was playing good. 4 hits, stirring it up just a little bit. I think, as bad as it went for Darnell Nurse in Anaheim, -3. In this game, +3. That's always good. And Connor Ingram gave you a very solid performance. making 21 saves on 22 shots. For those keeping track at home, that's a 955 save percentage. And that's the big one for me. Like, it's great when you look at the Oilers and, scoring 8 goals. Absolutely fantastic. But they need to stop goals from going in, and that's been their problem. And you go back during that 4-game losing streak, 7 goals against, 5 goals against, 4 goals against, 6 goals against. Even in their previous 3 wins, they beat the Sharks 4-3, you allowed 3. They beat the Ducks 7-4, allowed 4. You beat the Capitals 6-5. Then going back further, you lost the Penguins 6-2. We know they can play good defense. They had back-to-back shutouts going back to the Blues and the Canucks. Feels like forever ago, Duke, but granted, a tired Kings team obviously played the night before. So did the Oilers, though. So I think, 8 goals is great. I would have been fine with 4. Allowing 1 goal is the big one for me.
Yeah, the goal total, it's funny because the Oilers, do it single-handedly last night, putting the snowman on the board. But it's 9 straight games that there's been at least 7 goals total in the contest, which means for a lot of track meets back and forth, and we have seen some close ones. Last night, of course, being far from it lopsided, that was ugly for the LA Kings. And I'm not trying to take any credit away from the Oilers because they did play well, essentially to a man down the lineup from Connor Ingram right on out. But man, that was ugly for the Kings, ugly for Darcy Kemper, ugly for Anton Forsberg when he came in relief. So that's one side of the coin. But to start with Connor Ingram in the net, Cons, like he did not have to be spectacular last night. I mean, the Kings had 3 shots on goal in the third period. But early in the game, like it was 2-1 after 1, right? This was still close through 20 minutes and even the start of the second to an extent, where the Oilers only had like 7 shots on net as approaching the midway point of the game. Then all of a sudden you've got 5 goals on like 10 shots on goal, essentially. Doesn't bode well for Kemper stats. But I thought Ingram really did make a little bit of a statement in being this calming presence. And I've talked about this before when you compare the styles and the front that each respective goaltender puts on. Like Tristan Jarry is athletic, but he is a little out there in his crease. He can be aggressive. He moves a lot, and that does bode him well at times, but it can also leave him vulnerable, and that's just the nature of the beast. Whereas Connor Ingram, very calm, very quiet in his movements, very staying within himself, and that has allowed him to have quite a bit of success since joining the Oilers, but more importantly, going back to some of his better full seasons in the NHL back with Arizona. So it's an encouraging sign, no doubt. I think in my eyes, he gets the net again tomorrow afternoon in San Jose. And from there on out, man, it might be his to run with for a little bit here while Tristan Jarry tries to figure a few things out, because it's been an ugly stretch for him coming to a head. Obviously, first game back from the break the other night against Anaheim. But yeah, really a solid outing for the Oilers, coupled with a bad outing from the Kings, kind of speaks to the result of an 8-1 victory.
It'll be interesting to see how Tristan Jarry responds, being the guy who's kind of right now 1B, 2. Maybe some people don't have it as a 1A, 1B situation. Connor Ingram's the guy, and it would make sense to me, and I totally agree. On Saturday, 2:00 start, you definitely have to roll with Ingram again. Pre-game coverage 1:00 with Walker and Paulson on Saturday. Marty texting into on the YouTube chat, hey, no matching hoodies, guys? Well, yeah, you got your Critters hoodie.
That's on me. I told Marty I was going to text you to get you to wear it because you got given it yesterday.
Yeah.
I meant to text you this morning saying, hey, wear your new hoodie so we can match. Instead, it was Dan Davidson and I roaming the hallways of Stingray this morning. We are matching the celebrated Canadian recording artist and myself.
I never got the text. Mine's at home.
I'll be honest. I did think about texting, but I was like, what if he just does it more like authentically and naturally? That'd be even better.
No, it's in a frame. Hung up at home.
Do you want me to come sign it?
Why? Yeah, maybe the whole Critters will sign it.
After the way Carius and I played as a D tandem last night, I don't think you want our names anywhere close to your Critters gear. Oh, it was not pretty.
-7 or what?
Not quite. I mean, Critters win naturally.
Always.
And we were out there for a few goals for, but I do think most of the dashes came with us on the defensive side of things.
When you guys play, running gun hockey the way you do, that's going to happen, though.
Kevin and I are always looking up ice, right?
Yeah.
And then it didn't help in the first period that both teams were wearing black jerseys. To me, that was just a free pass to turn it over as much as I wanted and have a built-in excuse.
No excuses.
And they turned their jerseys inside out after the first period. I was like, damn, now I have to actually be held accountable for my poor play.
One time in high school football, they put me at safety, and I was wearing the offensive jersey. Interception. Quarterback tried to make the same excuse. Oh, well, he's wearing offensive colors. I said, nope. That was a great read by me. Bad excuse. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. We are talking about the Edmonton Oilers for this segment, of course, as the texts roll in. Triple C and Chuck says, I love Ingram's rebound control. It's nice. I mean, we saw that with Jari last game. A couple that are a little kind of hectic.
But booted back out there a little bit.
He's very, I don't know how to say it. Like, he has that calmness between the pipes. Like, I feel like sometimes with Jari, it's a little bit hectic.
Mm-hmm.
It's keeping the puck out, but like it's hectic. Don't see that quite as much with Connor Ingram.
He seems to kind of let the play come to him a little bit more at times, which is it's a positive attribute, no doubt, and it can be calming in your crease. Like, I don't think you're ever going to mistake Connor Ingram for Jordan Binnington back there in terms of how he behaves or acts in response to things he doesn't like, how his team's playing in front of him, whatever. And to more of an Oilers effect, you can maybe put Mike Smith in that same camp. Like, he's a very different styled guy. And you heard Jake Wallman speak about him a little bit in some of his post-game comments following the win last night. He says, yeah, like it does kind of help keep everyone a little bit calmer back there because he is so quiet, like I said, quiet in his movements. And it's very almost systemic the way he plays the position and lets the game come to him.
Jane Victoria says, the last 2 games, my boy Pod's line has been playing acceptable. What a difference a night makes. Jay from Victoria. Yeah, I mean, Pod Colson kind of throwing it around out there. Frederick doing the same thing. Adam Henrique had a couple chances last night. It's a nice third line. Rosovic, if he gets going with Savoy and Draisaitl, I like a lot. We know the top line is going to be solid for sure. But yeah, honestly, Jake Wallman, 2 goals last night. Lance said, is KK the nurse of the Critters? Well, hey, Darnell Nurse +3 last night. Come on.
So that's a great text because in our pregame warm-ups, Kevin and I are both left-handed. So we're out there, for opening face-off. And I say, Kev, are you going to play the offside? He says, yeah, of course. No problem for me. I was like, all right, well, I tell him, I was like, I need you to be the Wallman to my nurse. And we looked more like the Anaheim game, Wallman and Nurse, than last night's Wallman and Nurse. I'll say that.
I mean, hey, there's some perks to playing the offside, right?
One-timers. Not many. I'll say that not many one-timers getting cut loose in a Critters game, though.
No? Well, maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, I should have been teeing Kevin up. He could let the bomb go.
You carry it. KK gets to his spot, wherever it might be, and you drop it back. Let him rip it. Sparky B texting in. Hey, guys, good discussion about the game. Goaltending is always an issue with this team. What are your thoughts about giving Connor Unger a few games? Sparky B, that's been brought up, I mean, for a while now.
We talked about it yesterday for a few minutes.
Here's the thing. I love it. I love the idea of it. I just don't know how realistic it is. It's like going back to the goalie trades. Like when people are like, you got to do this trade. Love the idea. Don't know how realistic an immediate upgrade is. And I think we kind of saw that the lateral move with Skinner going to Jari, who's the big winner, who right now, who really knows, probably the Penguins, with the entirety of that trade. But I don't know. Like, I just don't see it happening, Duke. I don't know if there's any world you see it, but the way Ingram played last night, he was solid, and maybe he gets the crease here to roll with it for a while.
That does seem the more likely scenario. And then all of a sudden, like you're talking about a guy that's kind of cutting his teeth still at the pro level. And you guys had him on the Gregor show going back a month or 2 ago. And it's for him, he's kind of just like holding on to the handle of the roller coaster a little bit. When you talk about all these different places he played down in the ECHL, getting the call up to Bakersfield and playing very well there and kind of making this case for himself to be on the radar a little bit more. But I just think patience would be the more appropriate route for the organization to say, hey, we've got something to be excited about here. We don't want to rush it. And it goes back to which we said yesterday, which is, hey, the Oilers, they've got quite a few problems up and down, forwards, defense, goaltending. He could, in theory, maybe give some stabilization maybe to one of those things. But the more likely scenario in my eyes is that he comes in with inexperience, and whether he plays well for a game or 2, eventually this poor defensive team that has been in front of whatever goaltender most of the season comes to light and he gets victimized a little bit. And then all of a sudden you've got a guy going back to Bakersfield, back to Orlando, wherever, with now that shot in his arm instead of this incredible confidence high that he's been rolling with this year, having success in all these different teams and a couple different levels of hockey too. So I just don't know if the upside is worth the potential downside of, kicking a guy who's flying so high right now.
Yeah. And I mean, I've got to think that there's probably that discussion and, the conversation with the affiliates. Like, what do you think? Blah, 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 blah. And then you got to get to an eventual point where it's like, okay, those leagues are not the NHL. The shooters are a little bit different here. Let's not rush him. But his journey, and like you said, we had him on the Gregor show. He was fantastic. Seems like a really good guy. Hoping for him. You go back to his time in the WHL. It was like Wheat Kings and Okotoks. Wheat Kings, Whitecourt. Wheat Kings. Then your Rebels. Then Moose Jaw. Then he went to Brock University for a year. Decided I'm going to go pro. Spent that following season with Fort Wayne in the East Coast League.
Go Comets.
Go Comets with a K. And then this current season, 2 games with the Comets. Do you know where the Gargoyles play? Greensboro.
I was going to say Carolina.
Side note, sick name for a hockey team. More teams should do it. Then he goes to the Condors and then Orlando. He's played for 3 separate East Coast Hockey League teams. His story about that was funny. Like with numbers and stuff, he's like, just whatever's available.
Yeah.
But save percentage just in the East Coast League this year with the teams, 944, 945, 934. He spent the most time with the Condors where he went 9-2-1 with a 2.4 goals against average and a 926 save percentage. I mean, with those numbers, I get why fans are like, give him a shot.
Here would be my word of caution on someone like this. Yes, this is pro hockey that he's playing, but look at Ike Howard. Won the Heisman Trophy last year, right, in college hockey. Unbelievable season. Kind of, this was a guy that was a mid first round pick that now all of a sudden vaults to a very coveted prospect. I was kind of looking at him as maybe closer to NHL ready than the Sam O'Reilly front. He can help us closer to right now than Sam O'Reilly. Ike Howard hasn't been able to stick in the NHL this year. And college hockey, yeah, it's not the same as pro, obviously, but you are playing against men, usually bigger, stronger than, say, major junior a lot of the time, even if the schedule is a little bit easier from how many games you play and travel accommodations, all those things. So, like, if that is what the struggle has been for a Heisman Trophy winner Hobey Baker winner to stick in the NHL, Unger, who is, it's a great story. Like, why are you trying to push it and rush it? That's and once again, Ingram, solid. Give him a run here. And then you still got Cal Pickard if you need a little bit more of a solid backup option, potentially, whatever shakes down. So, I'm kind of past that conversation about bringing Unger up from what's right now the ECHL to play for the Oilers.
He won that award as a junior, correct?
Ike Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrini, freshman. Fantilli, freshman. Dryden McKay, goaltender, couldn't have been as a freshman. I don't even know where he's playing right now. AHL. Cole Caulfield, I think is a sophomore.
I think so.
I think McCarr got it as a sophomore as well. Scott Perunovich, Blues legend. Sometimes when I just I look at that, I'm like, you win that as like a freshman or a sophomore. That's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. Junior, yeah, it's still crazy.
Well, for a long time of the award, I mean, I believe Paul Correa in the early 90s was the first player to ever win it as a freshman. And then I'll have to fact check this, but I thought there wasn't another until Johnny Gaudreau won it. Another freshman winner.
Well, Jack Eichel would have won it as a freshman. Gaudreau would have been the year before him. He won it. So just trying to think. Let's scroll through here because I don't know how many years Gaudreau played. Yeah, he was at Boston College for 3 years. Didn't he win it his last year?
That could be true.
So he would have been
like I said, I was trying to run off the top of my head and my numbers. Maybe I'm thinking of Eichel instead. Whatever. But
yeah, it went to go do it as a freshman. Incredibly impressive, like some of these guys have done. Obviously, we know Celebrini, first overall pick. Fantilli, I mean, there's a guy who's got a lot of upside as well. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough league, especially as a goalie, right? He's 24 years old. I don't know if people call that like young for a goalie, but just hope he just does this progressively and improves. Didn't we do this with Olivier Rodrigue? Now he's playing in the KHL. Yeah. I don't know. 99 times out of 100, I'll trust the scouts in the NHL and what they see. Northside Lou says, really nice to see Savoy's confidence growing and getting rewarded. 100%. He's such a good story too, Duke. Like, drafted, offensive guy, Obviously, he has that upside, but then goes to the AHL with the Oilers, wants to be on the PK, shows that he can do more. Like, such a good lesson for any young hockey player, I think, drafted as an offensive player. The more you know, the more you can do. The more coach trust you have, the more ice time you're going to get. So, yeah, I love that story. Ed says Heisman, question mark?
Yeah.
Hobie Baker, the hockey Heisman.
The hockey Heisman.
We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk some NFL because the NFLPA player grades came out. Report cards, for teams. Who got an F? Did any coaches? We'll talk about that and more. It's Fantasy Frenzy on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Text us 1-833-401-1440, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
Okay, how about you give us your star winger for a bag of pucks? What if I throw in some Will Hawk beef jerky?
Yourself a trade.
With Will Hawk Beef Jerky on their side, the Alberta teams definitely have an unfair advantage this trade deadline. Pick up some today and use it for trade leverage in your fantasy league.
No way, man. It's way too good.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win trades with salad.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
What if you could hire motivated, safety-trained youth with no risk and funding to support you? At Careers the Next Generation, we make hiring easy with funded internships across Alberta in trades, IT, forestry, and more. Interns are WCB covered, complete high school accredited safety trained, and arrive ready to contribute from day one. With 42% of RAP students completing their apprenticeship by age 22, you get skilled workers faster. Spots are filling up. Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Why pay dealership prices when you can get the same quality for less? Hi, it's Lisa, and here at Ed's Auto Salvage, we've been Alberta's trusted source for used auto parts for nearly 50 years. From engines to mirrors, transmissions to tires, we've got it all at prices guaranteed to keep your wallet happy. Shop local, shop smart. Shop Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Be sure to visit us online at edsautosalvage.com and get your vehicle back on the road for less.
Whoa, I gotta put some money on the game tonight. We hit our monthly budget. Whoa, how did you get in here? I'm you, the responsible you. We're right. We'll play another time. Sounds more like us.
If you gamble, use your game sense. Visit GameSenseAB.ca.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
11:25. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, the Duke of Delburn, Josh Fenwick, Country Mac, Big Mike, goes by many names, Intern Mackenzie. I'm Connor Halley. Again, text lines 1-833-441-1440. Show brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Do you see there's a new young blood coming out, Duke?
We just saw the advert for the trailer. It's my first time hearing of it, I think.
I used to work with Dean Millard. Great guy. Loved Youngblood.
Okay.
I never saw it.
I've never seen it either. I know it's Rob Lowe, right?
Yeah. I've heard it's good. Haven't seen it. I don't know when the new one
Do
comes
people
out.
put it up there? Well, I shouldn't say do they. I know they do because I've seen it discussed for as long as I've been online that it's right up there with the likes of Slapshot, Mystery Alaska, is for the best hockey
Mighty
movies.
Ducks.
Yeah,
D2,
but
D3.
for adults.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Adult movies. When it's kids, only one stands alone. Swayze was in it as well.
Nice.
Keanu, that's a great cast. Cynthia Gibb, also in it.
What do I know her from?
Death Warrant, The Karen Carpenter Story, Fame, Short Circuit, Jack's Back, Modern Girls, Gypsy. No?
None of those.
I think maybe just Youngblood then.
Okay.
That may be the peak one. I don't know. I don't actually know. I have like you. Haven't seen the movie. Maybe I will compare them. I like to do that with remakes of movies. See how they change things up. Longest Yard, like both, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Sandler, nice twist on it. Sparky B texting in this segment actually for elksnation.ca, 2 weekly podcast with Eddie Steele, Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold. Most in-depth W football coverage you're going to find out there. Check it out, elksnation.ca. Sparky B said, let's not forget, Ken Dryden came in as a rookie and took Montreal to the Stanley Cup and won. This is true. This is true.
That is
factual.
That is a fact. Now, if you're telling me that you think Connor Unger is Ken Dryden, I'm sorry, I'll laugh you out of the room.
Undrafted. Now, Ken Dryden was a 3rd round pick, but 14th overall. Different times. He's also one of the greatest goalies to ever play.
If that's what the example you want to use, why wouldn't you at least use one from the modern game? It should be pretty fresh in the mind still at this point for Oilers fans. A guy named Cam Ward came in as a rookie and won the Stanley Cup.
Titans quarterback?
Titans quarterback, yeah. The other Cam Ward. Not Cameron Ward, Cam Ward.
Cam Ward. That would be a little bit more recent.
And also, both him and Connor Unger, Rebels legends.
So when you say that, all of a sudden I'm like, okay, well, maybe there's something to it. Now, I just want to take a quick look.
You go ahead and look.
It's one of like when Cam Ward, Rebels legend, came into the NHL. Man, he did it at 21 years old. That's very impressive.
And he had a very good junior hockey career with the Rebels.
Do you know his nicknames?
The Wardster.
Wardo and the Warden.
Is this according to what, like
Hockey Reference? Also, though, I'm not putting everything in first round status, but he was a first round pick.
Yeah, like pedigree does matter. Not every first round pick pans out, but the percentages say that it's much more likely than guys taken in the 5th round or, in the case of Connor Unger, undrafted.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's awesome when he's having success. I'm not trying to dog on him. But I just like for the case of Sparky and all these other texts that we've had over the past month come into the station saying, this is the answer. He's going to save our season. I think it's just so silly. Now, I could look an idiot if all of a sudden they call him up and, yeah, sure, he goes on this great run and the Oilers win the Stanley Cup. That'd be awesome. And I'd happily eat my words. Happily.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to stake some things on it, saying that that's not going to be the case.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll just say that I'm here for it. I love the madness of it. I like it. I just don't think it will happen. What are your guys' thoughts on the rumors that OEL is being traded to the Oilers?
Well, I don't think the rumor is that he's being traded here. I believe that he's a player of interest for the Oilers. Is that not where we're at?
I heard from intern Mackenzie, who listened to 32 Thoughts, that they said they're there's a chance it could happen.
Yeah, we had Frank Saravalli on this morning. He says that the two names that are kind of maybe closest tied to the Oilers right now are Justin Falk out of St. Louis or Rekman Larson of Toronto. Hey, he's a Stanley Cup champion. Another guy with a lot of pedigree. His best seasons are certainly behind him, but he has resurrected his career after the disaster that was his time in Vancouver. But I kind of, in both the case of Falk and OEL, and I said this with Kevin this morning, do they really address what the Oilers need to fix on their back end?
Like a shutdown D-man?
That's what I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Frank Saravalli on with Carey Show this morning says the Oilers need another guy to move the puck and get it in the hands of their forwards, which say some of these other options, Connor Murphy is one that's been brought up quite a bit out of Chicago, doesn't do as well as those guys, but he is a better pure defender, a little more edge to his game. Also expiring UFA, there's no commitment to it beyond this year. Cost of acquisition would certainly be lower. I don't know. I'm not sold that an ad like OEL or Justin Falk, just based on the player types they are. And I like both the players, straight up. I do. I think they have a lot to offer. But when I look at the Oilers, I'm just saying, like, I think you'd be better else spending your assets elsewhere.
I will say I was very high on Ulrich Larson like 7 years ago.
Before he went to the Canucks?
Yeah. Oilers got to get
you and me both, man.
And probably everyone in this room. MTR says Oliver Possum Lawson, which I think what John.
I thought it was Possum Lawson.
Possum Lawson.
Possum Lawson could be right though.
I love those compilations of him.
Yeah, just the mispronouncing. What did he call Draisaitl?
Oh, I don't know.
Yamamoto. He had a bad one for that too. Plenty. I mean, there's a compilation of them for a reason.
It Teddy Peckman.
It was Cogliani. There's Cogliani. He shoots the score.
We should run one of those one day. Not as an insult to Don, legend, but those
as an homage.
Yeah,
tribute.
Those were classic. Duke, I did talk about the NHL or NFLPA reports for players giving to their teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because you go through it and like some of the best run teams, not very high up there because winning is what matters. But this was done like last year. So you go to the Chargers, you look at offensive coordinator, it's like a D- because everyone obviously did not like Greg Roman. The number one team, Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
Surprising? Now they're clearing house?
It is surprising, honestly. And what stuns me even more about all this is that did the NFL not try and kibosh this?
Yep, they did.
And then the PA is just like kind of doing it like, hey, we're not breaking the rules technically, but here they are anyway.
I saw someone say like, so the NFL will put these, generated rankings of players out there on Sunday Night Football. You are the worst of the worst in their position.
You're 26 of 26 of qualified left tackles.
But they won't allow teams to have it done to them. Well, the PA doesn't care. And I love it. I mean, treatment of families is a thing. Home field, food and dining area, nutritionist, locker room, training staff, weight room, and then all the coaches, also team travel and head coach. Chargers got like a C- for head coach, which worries me a little bit. I'm hoping that the guys who gave Jim Harbaugh a low grade are on their way out. Not very good treatment of families, but ownership, A-. Special teams coordinator, A-. Defensive coordinator, who's now head coach, he's gone. The Chargers have a pretty good locker room, good training staff, good weight room, good dietitian. So, hey, I'm okay with it. Your Houston Texans, not bad, dude.
They fared pretty well.
I will just, the Chargers for me, 15th, middle of the pack, not a big surprise. The Vegas Raiders surprised me. Off the field, sounds like an amazing franchise. And then you get to coaching. Position coaches, C+. Offensive coordinator, F. Defensive coordinator, C. Special teams, C. Head coach, C+. Now, previous regime, right? So all those guys are gone. But the players are like, hey, love it here. Because everyone has to play football. Other than that, it's a pretty good spot.
And then how about this, Connor? You talk about the Dolphins being a surprise team that finishes at the top of the table, the complete inverse of it. A team that I think most of us associate with the picture of consistency and, a well-run organization that has remained competitive. They've only had 3 different coaches in the past 40 years. The Pittsburgh Steelers, ranking the worst in this category. And you look at over the past couple seasons, different owners that have gotten low grades, and it is guys that we kind of appreciate for the fact that they don't be very hands-on. Now, there's exceptions. You have Woody Johnson and David Tepper in this mix too, but Robert Kraft, Art Rooney, they're in the same grade category as those other two guys, which to me does come across as surprising.
Chiefs 27th in all these things.
It's not easy living in Missouri.
Apparently not. Like, they love the field, love the team. Off the field, not great. And you talk about the Steelers, like, obviously one of the most financially stable franchises. Locker room, F-. Home game field, F-. Treatment of facilities, F. Locker room, F-. Like, the players clearly don't like what they got going on there. I think that's like the one thing that saves Spanos with the Chargers. He put a lot of money into that stuff, so people like it there for that sort of thing. But yeah, it's interesting to see treatment of families, and we saw this in the NHL when the Carolina Hurricanes traded for Mikko Rantanen, and his wife allegedly was like put up in a crappy hotel by the airport, which for me and you would be fine. But like when you're trying to woo a player and his family to say, come join this organization, like, yeah, 5-star accommodations, taking them out to nice restaurants. That's typically how you woo a free agent. You could have done that with them. But I'm interested to see, like, you know, let's say your brother-in-law plays for, trying to find a good team here, the Saints. Treatment of families. Like, what does that mean? Like pregame meals?
When you're coming in and be like, hey, I got a bunch of people, like you go to the owner or your rep that speaks to the owner, you say, hey, I got a bunch of family in town this weekend. Can owner XYZ hook me up with a suite?
Yeah.
No problem. Anytime. Just ask. No questions asked. And they do it.
We got us with the Vikings too, because they got an A for that.
Is that the type of thing we're talking about? Because we're not there. We have no idea. And I think that's part of why the league itself has some pushback on these, is because is it sort of ambiguous about what some of these things actually grade on? And so just back to the Steelers. So Rooney ranks last in the league for willingness to invest in facilities, and also an F in Steelers locker room. It only has 5 bathroom stalls for the entire team.
That's crazy.
Now, this is an old building, right? Formerly Heinz Field, now Acrisure Stadium, I believe. But once again, like, you, as owning an NFL team, have a license to print money, essentially regardless of results on the field. Even the worst teams that lose year after year still make money hand over fist. How is that acceptable?
Well, but I mean, we've long heard this about like Cincinnati too, right?
Oh,
another franchise where the owner
got to walk up the hill to get to the practice fields.
Treatment facility F-. Home game D. Food and dining F. Nutrition is F.
Just serving up Skyline chili all the time. That's all. All the Bengals eat.
Please, less. We don't want this. But training staff, weight room, coaches, all pretty good. Team travel C-. Yeah, they're on like an old Canada 3000 jet.
A Bombardier.
Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. And it, like, some of the, like, I look at like SoFi for LA, both teams treatment of families like C+. Like, do you want can I get a suite for my family? No, we got clients coming in. Like, I feel like some of
that would certainly rub players, I think, the wrong way.
Where in like Minnesota, it's probably like, yeah, we'll take care of you. Yeah. Like, world-class facility, obviously, but
it says just under 1,700 players respond to the survey. But then I asked the question, do all 1,700 fill it out in its entirety? Do they, or 1,700 guys all grading their owner, and not only on the owner itself, but these kind of like,
how many?
1,695 is the total. That's how many players league wide respond to the survey. But I don't. It doesn't specify, at least this specific ESPN article that I'm reading about it doesn't say like, yeah, each survey is filled out top to bottom, no things left blank. Which I would be surprised if that was the case. I think some guys would just decline to fill out a letter grade for certain things.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want this to get back to my coach.
Oh, for like, how do you think like Woody Johnson, the Jets, doesn't have the best reputation anywhere? He shows up back into the facility, and he just looks at all his players at training camp. He's like, "What's your guys' problem?
Spend some money."
Yeah, it does seem like an easy solution in that case, but then it's also the owners see how the players think about their coaching staffs. It's like, should I fire all these guys or what, right?
It is funny if you do go back, because it was from last year. Look at like the guys who were F- Raiders head coach. okay, he's gone. We made the right decision, clearly. If you did do 52-man rosters times 32 teams, it'd be 1,664. So plus the inactives on all 32 teams in the practice roster.
So it's a pretty good coverage.
Yeah.
If we're talking about how many players are in the league and how many guys are responding.
Also, like, ownership, it matters so much. I remember Cuban saying that, like, his visitor room was super nice. And I'm like, well, why do you, like, make this nice? Like, why do you do that? And he's like, well, I want players to know that if I'm willing to do this for the visitor,
think about how much.
what I'm doing for the home team.
When the Spurs are in town, they're like, man, this is a really nice visitors locker room. Imagine what the home team room's like. Become a free agent, I have to go see what the Mavericks home room is like.
It, right? Like, they treat me this well. How are they going to treat their own? Smart. Do we have these statistics for the NHL from Jeremy of the Arctic Cake? I don't know if the NHLPA
I've never
that,
heard of it being done,
but they should. Like, it's super interesting, and for a owner who maybe sucks at their job, or is maybe blissfully unaware of what's happening, like a kind of an eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break here. When we come back, we got a text for Big Mike and more. It's Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great. But you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium one-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular menu price. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's with a $6 one-top medium when you order any large specialty at regular menu price. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Free trips, free iPads, a barbecue, a wood stove, the #1 dealer in the world. What? Who cares? How about no pressure, a great deal, finance rates as low as 0%, trade values you can be happy with, and an indoor showroom. And we're pretty good people. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
There's a lot of great seasons in Alberta. Hockey season, harvest season, the winter season, and the even more winter season. But GS Construction is already preparing for our next great season, because while the city slows down, we plan ahead. Projects, people, and pipelines. Everything starts taking shape for another strong year underground. We're also getting ready for our next hiring season in March. We want new people who want to build something that lasts. For more on us and to apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Hey, Edmonton, did you know a local Play Alberta winner scored over $500,000 on Mega Jackpots Ocean Bells? Think about the season tickets you could lock down with that kind of cash. From major casino winners every hour to jackpots worth millions and hundreds of popular games to money that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up for Play Alberta. Download the app today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. When you gamble, use your game sense.
They're not just a grocery store. They're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, deli, rotisserie pizza, and restaurant, all under one roof. Loca Quality Market does food differently with 2 locations to serve you. Edmonton and Sherwood Park. Visit loca.ca.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the rink, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the sports talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
A claims program for harmed Canadians has begun as a result of a landmark tobacco settlement. If you smoked regularly before November 20th, 1998, and were diagnosed with lung cancer, throat cancer, emphysema, or COPD, you may qualify for a significant payment. To learn more, call 888-482-5852 or go to tobaccoclaimscanada.ca.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:47. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor, Halley, Brandon Douglas. We've got the dream team behind the scenes, keeping us on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, and on the air. Josh Fenwick and intern Mackenzie. Coming up next, Lowdown with Low Tide, noon to 2. Steve Lansky will be by. And then on the Jason Gregor show, who do we have today? It's Friday, finally. Lorianne Munzer. We've got Craig Button, Spec, Low Tide. We'll head down to San Jose, and I think we're going to talk some Leafs as well, as they are officially, unofficially out of the playoff race. Text coming in from Dylan. Spells the name Dylan. So my quick question before we get to this one is, to the people around my age, who are the 5 greatest rappers of all time? Please text in 1-833-401-1440. If you give me the correct answer, we'll be cool. I'll read all your texts, hopefully. Okay. Big Mike. The question from Dylan is, will AJ Brown be an Eagle next season?
I don't think he should be, but seems like Eagles management really wants to make sure that the return for him is good, and that's where things get a little bit sticky. But if you're looking for the betterment of the locker room, like we were talking about the players' survey, the Eagles had an F. So there are things that need to change there. And unfortunately, AJ Brown is one of those. I really, really want him to succeed somewhere else. But I think his time with the Eagles, it's just done. They both need to part ways.
Triple C in a truck says AJ ain't going nowhere. But then I also saw a report earlier today that the Patriots might be in on AJ Brown.
Would make sense. There's several teams that want a premier number 1 receiver, which you can't deny AJ Brown is. And he obviously thinks himself as. He wants to go somewhere where there's an elite quarterback, which I guess he doesn't think Jalen Hurts is. Drake May, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert.
Elite?
Yeah. Oh, no, I think I think he's elite, but like, are the Chargers one of these teams?
I don't think so.
Could be in the mix.
No, I think they should look for a wide receiver one, because to me, I think Ladd McConkey's a very good wide receiver too. They have Trey Harris. They got a few other guys. KLA, Keenan Allen could be back for another year. I don't think it'd be a bad idea, but I don't think it'll happen. I think they want to spend their money on the trenches instead.
So where's he playing?
Buffalo.
Mackenzie?
I don't mind Buffalo. Or is Drake May elite? Like,
let's finish second MVP voting.
I'm not convinced.
His nickname is the Schedule.
They call him the Schedule.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I could also see the Patriots, because I don't think Stephon Diggs is going to be around that much longer.
What if they trade him back?
My personal opinion.
Trade him back to the Titans.
Cam Ward needs weapons.
Guys, clearly, this is the most obvious answer in sports. He's going to the Dodgers. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, Dodgers, hey, salary cap's going to be back soon. Dodgers are going to have to trade half their roster.
But for now, they can have H.A. Brown.
Why not?
Catching balls in right field.
MVR says he'll line up a Chief. Oh, that'd be bad. I will say this. I asked 5 greatest rappers of all time. Jizza, MF Doom, Eminem, Black Dot, Busta Rhymes, Phil. Wrong answer, Phil. Lance says Eminem, Ice Cube, MF Doom. Both you guys? MF Doom? Tupac, Biggie Smalls, honorable mention to any of the Beastie Boys. Wrong answer. Nikki Northside, Dylon, and Dylon, because he spits hot fire. That's the correct answer. It's a Chappelle Show skit. So I thought, I brought it up during the break here, and nobody in the studio knew the reference.
My Chappelle Show references that I understand are
Couch?
Yeah, Rick James. Any Rick James thing.
Blouses.
Prince. Black white supremacist. Then the sequel one to that, the title of which I'm not going to say. And then maybe and then the Cribs.
Cribs. The Fear Factor one?
Black George Bush.
There's a lot of good stuff. The Juice says, damn it, I was going to say that. Gen Z? What do we call them? Zers?
Which I'm not.
Yeah, you're not. You're a youthful millennial.
I'm a young millennial.
You know Chappelle Show, though. Like,
when someone first showed me the Prince Hollywood Stories sketch, I don't think I've ever thought there was something funnier in my whole life. It was so good. And it still is. Like, it holds up. It's hilarious.
Oh, well, Prince was good. What was the other one?
Well, the Rick James one.
James, yeah.
And then there were several Rick James ones. There was and the best is they actually had Rick James himself, two comments.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I go and do that? And then his cutscene is like, yeah, I did that.
Go to the 5 finger, say to the face.
Slap.
You haven't seen it. There's been memes about it, how the original meme was just guys quoting the Chappelle Show in high school. It was the best. I'm getting a lot of rappers that I haven't heard of. Aluminum foil, saran wrap, butcher's paper, gift wrap, and cellophane. Best rappers ever.
Wow. Creative answer, Rob.
I'd say you nailed it. 5 out of 5. The Haters Ball. Yeah. Wayne Brady. Really good. Really good. Wayne Brady's hilarious. That is genius. Phil said the Players Haters Ball was diabolical. Yeah. There's things you can't even quote. Stanzi says Tupac, Biggie, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. I'm not going to argue. I mean, you can make arguments for all those. I asked Declan because I thought he might get my Chappelle Show reference. He had Nas in there. I like Nas. I think that's a good one too.
Has anyone considered including
Akon
or T-Pain
or Flo Rida?
Flo Rida. My boy Classified, Nova Scotia. Cardinal Official. Maestro Fresh West.
Swollen Members.
I love Swollen Members.
Northern Touch. Great song. Triple C. Thanks for the Ninja Family, he says.
Yeah.
That was
the sequel one I was
the problem is there's so many things we can't talk about.
Yeah.
From that show.
Not fit for radio.
J-Rock from the Trailer Park Boys. Noted Oilers fan. Jonavision. Corey says Eminem, Nate Dogg, Josh Clausen, Bubba Sparks, Tupac. Bubba Sparks. He had a song in Madden, Out of the Mud or something. We're getting some of the player haters ball quotes coming in here. Cannot read them. Any list without MC Hammer is just ignorant. Team Dean. He was too legit to quit. I like dropping that on the show every once in a while.
Nobody said Jay-Z yet. Kanye.
Jay-Z's Black Album is one of my favorites of all time.
Maybe the old Kanye.
Oh, I mean, old Kanye. Made College Dropout, man.
Graduation. Great record.
Yeah. Nobody saying 50? 50 had hits for sure. Cameron? These are from my MP3 player back in the day. These are the hits. Anywho, we'll take our break. Thank you guys for all the texting, for tuning in. Check the podcast or YouTube stream if you want to go back and listen again. We would appreciate it. Hit the like button, too, if you're watching on YouTube. Up next, Lowdown with Low Tide. For everyone here, I'm Connor Halley. Have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday right now. Sports 1440 update with Mackenzie, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
4 games in the NHL tonight. Buffalo is in Florida. Vegas takes on Washington. Minnesota goes to Utah, and the Jets and Ducks have the nightcap. Light night in the association as well. 5 games. Cavs tip off in Detroit at 5. Nets meet the Celtics. Memphis is in Dallas, and Nuggets take on OKC. In the PWHL, 1 game. Scepters are in Seattle. Puck drop at 8. In the AJHL, Drayton Valley is in Canmore, and Camrose hosts Calgary. In the BCHL, Sherwood Park takes on the Trail Smoke Eaters. Saints welcome in Black Bolt. And U Sports playoffs are in full swing. U of A Pandas and Golden Bears volleyball is in the Canada West quarterfinal with Winnipeg. Both Bears and Pandas took the win last night. Game 2 tonight. Pandas go at 6 with the Bears right after, both at the Saville. In the ACAC, it's the Battle of Edmonton with Nate and Concordia, with playoffs kicking off tonight at 7 at the Nate Arena. Next on Sports 1440, the Lowdown with Low Tide, Alan Mitchell, Declan Kruger, and Josh Fenwick. I'm Mackenzie, and that's your Sports 1440 update.